Let's turn off the main lights tonight. Just leave the little lamp on in the corner. Go ahead and find a comfortable spot, pull your legs up, and let your body sink completely into the bed. Think of a quiet, chilly evening in an old house out in the country. Outside, the cold winter wind is blowing through the bare trees, making a faint, whistling sound against the roof. But inside, you are sitting in a deep wooden rocking chair right next to a stone fireplace. The big oak logs have been burning for hours, and they have finally turned into a thick pile of glowing orange coals that fill the room with a steady, lazy warmth. Right across the back of the wooden chair rests a massive, hand-knitted wool blanket. It isn't a factory-made blanket from a store. It was knitted years ago by someone who took their time, using thick, natural yarn the color of warm oatmeal. You reach out your arm and pull the heavy folds down over your lap. The very first thing you notice is the immense weight of it. It feels solid and comforting, immediately pressing down against your legs like a warm, reassuring hug that tells your muscles it is finally time to stop moving for the day. As you spread it out over your knees, your fingers begin to track the rough, bumpy texture of the wool. It is full of little human imperfections. Some of the knitted loops are slightly larger than others, and the thick knots form a bumpy, uneven pattern that feels deeply satisfying to run your thumb over. The wool is thick and rustic, carrying the faint, clean smell of sheep's wool and cedar wood from the old chest where it was kept all summer. You sink a little deeper into the chair, tucking the long edges of the blanket tightly under your feet. The heavy texture traps the warmth of the fire right against your skin, creating a small, safe pocket of heat that completely insulates you from the cold world outside. Your hands rest flat on the top layer, feeling the coarse, fibrous threads catch slightly against your skin as you move your palms in a slow, lazy circle over the fabric. You look down at the blanket in the dim light of the fire. You can see the individual strands of yarn twisted tightly together. Every single stitch represents a moment of quiet patience, a slow movement of someone's hands looping the wool over and over on a quiet afternoon long ago. There is a beautiful sense of history in the weight of it, a feeling that this object was made purely to bring comfort to whoever holds it. You find a small, loose thread near the border and gently roll it between your index finger and thumb. It feels slightly coarse, raw, and completely real. The weight of the blanket seems to grow heavier the longer it sits on your lap, anchoring you to the chair, grounding your body, and melting away all the tightly coiled tension in your back and shoulders. The room is completely silent except for the soft, occasional crackle of the dying coals in the hearth. A tiny spark pops softly and glows bright for a split second before fading back into the gray ash. You lean your head back against the soft cushion of the chair, feeling the gentle, rhythmic rocking motion as your body settles into the quiet space. The blanket covers you all the way up to your chin now. The wool feels slightly scratchy, but incredibly warm against your bare neck, a comforting reminder of how raw and honest natural materials are. You take a deep, slow breath, smelling the faint scent of wood smoke and old yarn. Your chest rises slowly against the heavy weight of the blanket, and as you exhale, your body sinks even deeper into the wood. There is absolutely no rush here tonight. The clock on the wall doesn't matter. The chores are all finished. The kitchen is clean, and there is nothing left for you to fix, solve, or think about until tomorrow. The world outside the window is cold and distant, but inside this small circle of firelight, you are entirely protected. You slip your hands underneath the top fold of the wool, finding a spot where the blanket has trapped a deep pool of your own body heat. The contrast between the cool air of the room on your face and the deep, heavy warmth beneath the blanket makes your eyes feel incredibly heavy. You watch the orange shadows stretch out long and lazy across the wooden floorboards, moving slowly up the base of the bookshelves. Your breathing starts to slow down naturally, matching the calm, quiet rhythm of the room. Every time you breathe in, the heavy wool lifts slightly, and every time you breathe out, it settles back down, holding you securely in place. It feels like a shield against the busyness of life, a simple, heavy barrier that keeps you safe and still. You let your fingers curl into the thick open spaces between the knitted stitches, feeling the density of the yarn. It is a grounding sensation, something simple and physical to focus on as your thoughts begin to drift away like smoke. The wind outside seems to be fading now, dying down into a quiet murmur as the night grows deeper. The room is getting darker as the fire loses its flame, leaving only the soft, ambient orange glow of the embers to illuminate the space. The shadows on the wall have stopped moving, freezing in place as the room settles into total stillness. You can feel the deep tiredness finally catching up to you, spreading through your arms, down your back, and into your legs, making your whole body feel beautifully heavy and relaxed under the weight of the wool. You don't need to stay awake any longer. The day is fully completed, and it is time to let go of everything. Imagine yourself closing your eyes right there in the warm chair, wrapped completely in that thick oatmeal yarn. The blanket holds you steady, keeping you warm from your toes all the way to your shoulders. Take one more deep, slow, and gentle breath of the warm room air. Let your mind become as quiet as the kitchen at midnight. Let your thoughts go completely soft, sink into the heavy comfort of the wool, and just drift away into a deep, effortless, and beautiful sleep.